and Tobago, welcome to the #1 current affairs program. Real Talk with Saieed. Remember, viewers, share our live stream on Facebook, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, also on YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe, and you will know when we go live. So viewers, we're going straight in the news tonight. DCP Junior Benjamin is now acting Commissioner of Police. Junior Benjamin. The motion to approve Benjamin passed unanimously. Approval in the House, not the upper house, but the lower house a short while ago. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is piloting the motion, lamented the position the government found itself in, having to appoint an acting Commissioner of Police for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, given the suspension of the substantive Commissioner of Police, Earl Hayward Christopher. Listen to this.
Madam Speaker, this is one of these days when the government wish it did not have this responsibility. But this is the day when the government cannot create its own pathway as to the steps to be taken for the appointment of an acting person in a position, in this case, the Commissioner of Police. Madam Speaker, this requirement of us being called upon to affirmatively deal with the intention of the Service Commission to make an appointment follows from some correspondence that went from the appropriate quarters through the system of the Police Service Commission, the Police Service, the Office of President, and now the Parliament.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Rowley declined to comment on the current situation featuring the Commissioner of Police and the Police Service Commission. He was adamant that the government only roles is to approve the recommendation of the Police Service Commission. He explained that the Police Service Commission has seen it fit to take action which has resulted in a vacancy arising at the level of the Commissioner of Police. And we are called here to fill that vacancy by identifying the person that is identified to act in that position.
It appears to me as Prime Minister and to the government that I lead that the Police Service Commission has seen it fit to take action which has resulted in a vacancy arising at the level of Commissioner of Police, and we are called here to fill that vacancy by identifying the person that is identified to act in that position. And a similar thing would happen with respect to an acting commissioner. And the reason why an acting commissioner is required to be dealt with by the House is because one of the deputies, a deputy commissioner, as per the intention of the Service Commission, is being elevated to act as commissioner. So that leaves a vacancy behind of deputy commissioner, which the commission seeks to fill.
Viewers, in a response, Opposition MP Dr. Rudal Munilal said he would only tell the now acting Commissioner of Police, Benjamin, to conduct himself in fairness. Munilal added that the TTPS has brought into dispute as the investigation into Cop Hayward Christopher continues. He also said the government should also be held accountable for the state of affairs at the TTPS.
At best, it could be a farce in the sense that there's a matter before the courts and increasingly threats of legal action. And I'm sure, and I'm sure that that matter would find its way in the system The Parliament has been hastily convened to approve another individual to act in the office of Commissioner, but at this stage, all that has happened that we can confirm is that by their actions and by the appointments made by this administration, they have brought the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service into disrepute and contempt. And just when you think it cannot go lower, it appears to be lower. So,
do you think anybody should be held accountable, Dr. Munilal, for this situation that's taking place?
Yeah, the persons who are behind me now in their vans passing, I think they should be held accountable.
The persons who are passing in their vans. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, eh? That is a great shame in our country. A great shame. Having to investigate the Commissioner of Police in our country. Imagine that, eh? Now, let's not get taken away with this issue. There are more relevant issues that we need to discuss in Trinidad and Tobago. Listen, when Gary Griffith went back up for nomination, the Prime Minister said, I am the man that went to the president. He came out and said he was the big fish that went to the president that caused that merit list to be scrapped. So now, there's a saying that the old folks used to say, do so ain't like so. And what ain't miss you ain't pass you. You know the long ago slang people used to use? Well, apparently somebody getting bite now. Somebody getting bite. But what you do? That's their thing to deal with, not ours. Their situation to deal with, not ours. My job is to highlight the issue for you to know what is right and what is wrong, what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. So, listen to this. Commissioner of Police, Earl Christopher, will now be allowed to challenge her suspension from office, but fail to stop the Police Service Commission from appointing an acting cop. High Court Judge Christopher delivered a ruling in a matter shortly after 4 p.m. today during an urgent hearing. The court hearing took place even as Parliament met to approve 2 motions to appoint a Deputy Commissioner of Police, Junior Benjamin, and Assistant Commissioner of Police, Kurt Simon, to act as Deputy Commissioner of Police. Hereward Christopher was suspended by the PSC on January 31st after she was arrested in connection with an investigation relating to the purchasing of 2 sniper rifles. On February 1st, police were advised to release her pending further investigation. The investigation led by DCP Suzette Martin surrounding the importation of 2 Accuracy International AX2 bolt-action rifle for the use by the SSA. Former director of the SSA, retired Major Roger Best, was also arrested during the probe, but was also released based on advice from the DPP. Trinidad and Tobago, hear this now. Israel Bacchanal with this, you know. Israel Bacchanal with this thing, you know. But listen to this. Gary said that a sniper rifle is not an automatic weapon. Not an automatic weapon. So Trinidad and Tobago will hear more about that later on. Right now, I want to tell you about the 5% Real Talk Financing is offering. So Trinidad and Tobago, Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on our fixed deposit, viewers. Remember that we are the only licensed financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is offering you 5% on our fixed deposit. Which means, viewers, instead of you getting 3 and 4% interest on your capital, you are now going to get 5% from Real Talk Financing. Yes, we license. So those of you who wondering, hey, Saieed, you did say that? No, I'm a licensed money lender. Together with License Money Lender, we have Real Talk Credit Union. Be part of the credit union also, viewers. 5% on our fixed deposit. So if you have 100,000, you know, I like to elaborate. I like to call figures. If you have 100,000 viewers, at the end of 5 years, you're going to be getting $25,000. Not $3,000 and $2,000 as other financial institutions will give you. $25,000 on $100,000. Imagine that at the end of 5 years. Now, what I want you to do, go to your banks, go to a financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago and see which one is matching up with Real Talk Finance. And if they can't match you with ours, why is your money still there? Why is your money still there? When you have a vision, the people will not perish. Always remember that, eh? Always remember that. Where the leaders have vision, the people will not perish. They will benefit from the vision of those going forward. Always remember that. We have a prime minister. Did he have a vision for Trinidad and Tobago? No, they didn't have a vision. What happened? We're suffering right now. We're suffering right now. Why? Because the head don't have a vision. Imagine that. Real Talk Credit Union very soon will be in Guyana and Grenada and Barbados. Trust me. I am already having talks with people from these countries already getting documents, and we are on our way to be licensed. Real Talk Financing is already in Guyana. Real Talk Equipment is already in Guyana, viewers. And we function in very soon Real Talk Credit Union. Very soon. Trust me, I know what I'm telling you. Because not too long ago, I showed you all Real Talk Equipment in Guyana. I'm a licensed money lender in Guyana also. Real Talk Financing in Guyana also. So we're expanding in the Caribbean, viewers. Not just by mouth, but by documents. We have a short while, not too long ago, about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I showed you all documents. Renewed documents from Guyana. Went through the legal way, as everyone would say. So viewers, we're in Guyana very soon. Grenada and Barbados will hear and see Real Talk in their country. So we are going for a short commercial break, viewers. But nevertheless, when we return, DCP Martin wrote to Rowley on Sniper Probe. PM, tell us what you know after this.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and Licensed Money Lender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Intelligence and Investigation, or Investigator, Suzette Martin, has written to the Prime Minister in his capacity as head of the nation's Security Council, asking for information on the procurement of 2 sniper rifles for the SSA. In her letter dated February 1st, Martin poses 2 questions to Dr. Rowley. Did the Commissioner of Police, Earl Haywood Christopher, and or former SSA Director, retired Major Roger Best, notify the NSC, National Security Council, about the agency's intent to procure the rifle? If so, was it approved? The second question was, did Haywood Christopher inform the NSC she had approved the SSA's request to procure the rifle through licensed firearm dealer Luke Hadid, Managing Director of Ashton Enterprise Limited? Martin said, Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, Roger Gasper, SC, had advised her to seek this information as part of an ongoing investigation into the procurement of 2 Accuracy International AX2 bolt action sniper rifle and related accessories, including 7.65 mm suppression scope mounted and bipods. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, the procurement reportedly occurred between July 4, 2023 and June 2nd, 2024. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This will be an intense investigation because the Prime Minister or the Minister of National Security has to know information concerning this. And if they say they have no idea of this, well then, there will be something for the Commissioner of Police. But again, the former Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, said a sniper rifle is not an automatic weapon. And presently, it is prohibited to have, for an individual to have an automatic weapon. I believe it's only the Defense Force and the police, or maybe the Coast Guard, has authorization to have an automatic weapon. Trinidad and Tobago, what has the Commissioner of Police gotten herself into? You see, when I was telling Earla for months, Earla resign and go home, go home and drink your coffee, go and play with your grandchildren if you have, go for vacation. Earla sought to fight to be the Commissioner of Police. You see, I'll tell you something, huh? You see, when power gets to your head, and you hold power in your hand, in position, it is be very hard to step out of it. Very, very hard to step out of that power that you know you possess. Not everybody can handle power. Not everybody. I say this often. Everybody loves power, but power comes with authority. And with authority, you have to be very careful how you're executing your authority, because one day your same authority could bite you. Yeah? Now, earlier didn't want to sign off on FULs for business owners. She didn't want to. She didn't want to sign off on FULs for homeowners. Now, the very same thing that she didn't want to sign is the very same thing now that she get caught up in. Firearm. Weapon. See? It's sad, you know. It's really sad. But nevertheless, that's their thing. It's tough. But what are you going to do? Trinidad and Tobago, what do you have to say? Look at the state of Trinidad and Tobago right now. Look at our state. Crime risen. Not too long ago, Commissioner of Police were praised. The Commissioner of Police were praised for doing her work. They couldn't find fault. Where did this came from now? Where did this came from now? Imagine the head of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Services being investigated. And investigations are escalating. Now the Prime Minister now is part of it. Why? Why is the Prime Minister part of it? Very soon he'll go down to the Minister of National Security. Yes. So Prime Minister being the head of the National Security Council, were you aware of this? You cannot say that, well, you know, I can't get involved. No, you can't say you can't get involved. You can't say you didn't know nothing. You have to come out now and tell Trinidad and Tobago what you know. And from the Prime Minister now, they will go to the Minister of National Security. Why? Because you are the Minister of National Security. Sniper rifles are being imported to the country. You have to have first-hand documents. You are the Minister. Call good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program as usual.
Thank you.
And I like your opening remarks. There are no shame on these state officials in this country. No, Ola happy, you know, but Ola have to act the role well. Ola is going to get at least $3 million plus from this episode, you know. Ola knows they're not going to renew her contract again, so Ola have to take the full share mind. The firearm users dealer. Mm-hmm. He get $100,000 for five searches they did to his home. So he already get $500,000 and counting. He had to get more. That's just for the search of his home without the same warrant they use. So he's smiling, Ola smiling too. But what you go do? You have to act the role well. And her attorney, well, she getting more than $500,000 from this episode. And to the citizens of this country and to everybody, as you rightly say, they are shameless. They have been shaming state officials in this country, have been shaming this country for years, not today. They are disgrace from high office holder down. They are disgrace and shameless people to this country. Look, even Rohan Sinanan, I don't know if he just get up on a morning and be happy, you know, or he just pray, you know. Traffic every morning from way back down to Indian Trail flyover, straight to Port of Spain on evening from Grand Bazaar, straight down to the St. Mary's flyover Freeport. Morning, noon, and night you're facing that. So I want, and Rohan Sinanan responsible for that with the construction of that piece of highway they're doing there. I wonder if he have any shame at all. He's a shameful, disgraceful person to this country. Look at the crime and so on this country have been going through. The world tell us that don't come to this country. Tell the citizens, tell the people, don't come to this country. This country only a criminal that has killed people here. So we in this country very sad, you know, and you know what is the solution? We have to emancipate the evil forces that is leading this country that we employ. So the people of North who they impose Stuart Young on, I want you all to wake up. Stuart Young never hear a baby cry from hunger or a 5-year-old child crying because they have food to eat in the morning or going to sleep hungry. So people in Lavantil North, this is a good opportunity to teach politicians a great lesson. Said, keep up the great work, man. God bless you and your staff, Mr. Said.
Thank you, my friend. Former Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith have stated that the SSA is not a law enforcement agency. Now this is Gary Griffith. Remember, he was the former Commissioner of Police for Trinidad and Tobago. And he's saying this. He said, therefore, they are not allowed to bring in prohibited weapon or automatic weapon. Gary stated that comments that snipers are prohibited weapon are not true. Listen to this.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm here yet again to bring clarification to this mess that is ongoing, whereby we have seen that there have been reports that a commissioner of police may have allowed the illegal entry of weapons into the country and being arrested. I just wish to bring the facts so that the country will understand what is going on. First, the SSA is not a law enforcement agency. So they are not allowed to bring in prohibited weapons. That is automatic weapons. A prohibited weapon is an automatic weapon. That is a weapon that can fire 35 rounds in 3 seconds. Only the Defense Force and the Police Service, for example, have that authority to import prohibited weapons. So hearing the comments being made over the last few months and especially over the last few days that these sniper weapons were prohibited weapons, and it is published in the newspapers as well, that is all a lie. A sniper rifle is not a prohibited weapon because it is not an automatic weapon. So that's the first thing. So if it is that the legal department of the police service figured that this was their game of, we catch her because she allowed sniper rifles to be brought into the country for the SSA because it is seen as a prohibited weapon, that is a lie. That is not true. The SSA can acquire weapons, but not prohibited weapons.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we wanted to know the facts. Now there you have it. There you have it. A sniper rifle, the rifle that were brought into the country, is not a prohibited weapon. It is not an automatic weapon. So it is legal to come into the country. Now, he further sought to clarify that no politician has any authority to approve or deny firearm into the country. The privilege is given to the Commissioner of Police. Griffith said, so why is Suzette Martin writing to the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, and trying to involve him in this matter?
Latest, however, hearing a Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence coming to state that she has written to the chair of the National Security Council to verify if he gave permission for these weapons to enter the country. It shows either incompetence at the highest level or somebody just does not understand the law, which I think is what happened at the start when the legal department of the police service foolishly decided to arrest the police commissioner without having enough evidence that would have pushed it over the line, and then having the perception that the sniper rifles were prohibited weapons. Because up to now, they can't even say what they wanted to charge Earl Christopher for. So going back to this thing here where we have the Director of Intelligence writing to the Chair of the National Security Council, a politician has no authority to approve or deny weapons entering the country. So what are you getting the Prime Minister involved in this bacchanal for? He has no involvement. So you writing to the Prime Minister, he does not have the authority to approve or deny the entry of these weapons. And if it is you're a Deputy Commissioner of Police and you do not understand that the Commissioner of Police has sole authority, only the Commissioner of Police, no politician has that.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I want to let you understand something. Caller there? I want to let you understand something. Gary Griffith was a big boy in the army. Now, he was the commissioner of Trinidad, the police commissioner for Trinidad and Tobago, was a police commissioner. Now, he's standing to defend another present commissioner of police. I want to let you understand something. Gary would know if the weapon is a prohibited weapon or not. Gary Griffith would know if this weapon could enter Trinidad and Tobago. Gary would know if a minister has authorization or not. Gary would know the ups and the downs. Gary would know the left and the right. And for him to be backing Christopher I should say, the suspended commissioner of police, Gary has to be talking the truth. I mean, everybody at one point in time said, you have a call? Call, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Yes, Mr. Saieed Ali. I just want to say one thing. Don't believe everything you hear and everywhere. There are two sides to one story.
Yes, we know that.
Right?
Yes.
But what most important is that we all have the evidence. The evidence that is put forward for people to see. That the corruption the country is going through. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So these kind of weapons coming into the country, we need to know what is the purpose.
Correct.
What they for.
Correct.
You understand?
Yes.
So we ask the question, why? And what is the purpose? We've seen crime, we've seen everything going on. Now, we don't know if this is just to throw the public eyes off of something else. We don't know that. So this thing just come up just so and everything just, the public's eyes off of the government and the public's eyes off of everything. We don't know what is the next step. The throw we off. We don't know. So sometimes we gotta look at it at all different sides.
Yes.
Just like a coin, there are two sides.
Yes, there's two sides.
But don't forget, as the coin have two sides, there's the circumference, right or wrong. So there are a lot of sides, not only two sides. So we need to look at that holistical and know what's going on. Right?
That's true, true.
And next thing too, you still looking for the line?
What's that? Hey, Kola, you want to get me in trouble, you know? You want to get me in trouble. No, Trinidad and Tobago, like he said, there's always two sides to it. Now listen to this, eh? In some recent development, it was shown that the importation of the two sniper rifle from Accuracy International in the United Kingdom was for resale purpose before it found its way into the armory of the SSA. Now, the sniper rifle that the gun dealer brought in was for resale. The firearm import permit dated October 10, 2023, with an expiry date of October 10, 2024, shows it was stamped and signed off by the Commissioner of Police for firearm dealer. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, the dealer had nothing to hide. The dealer had nothing to hide. Now, scroll on to the part where the commissioner signed off. You see, Christopher? The dealer have nothing to hide. You know why? That is a legitimate permit. Legitimate. Come back to me. Trinidad and Tobago. I know the gun dealer. I know the gun dealer. When I had bodyguard working for me, we purchased licensed firearm from that gun dealer. So I know him. Now, with documents circulating now, Christopher signed off on it. The purpose was to bring in the rifle, the sniper rifle, to resell. So if I am a gun dealer, and I go to the Commissioner of Police, I want to bring in these two firearms, the Commissioner will then sign off on my license, and I will bring in the firearm with the purpose of reselling. So the gun dealer has broken no laws. He has his permit. He and his lawyer, they surrendered. They had nothing to hide. The gun dealer have his license. He cleared his name one time. Yeah, I have my license. Keep my name out of this bacchanal. There's my license. Present it. And that was it. That's his license. That's his license. So they can do, you see, for resale purpose. Resale purpose. So they cannot do, you see, on top firearm permit unit, it's stamped. It's stamped Trinidad and Tobago. So they cannot do the gun dealer anything. He's in the clear. He's in the solid clear. It's like you need to have a license before you buy a car. You need to have a license in order to sit behind the steering of a vehicle to drive on the government road. And if you do not have that license and you're sitting behind a vehicle that is licensed for the government road, you're going to be charged. In this case, the man have all his documents. So he's out in the clear. So with the whole bacchanal that is taking place now, with Gary Griffith now coming out and saying, hey, no minister has the authorization to grant anything. Coming to firearm, as I always say, you have to go through the Commissioner of Police. So if the Commissioner of Police now signed off on a weapon that could be imported to Trinidad and Tobago, what is the bacchanal? I am asking myself, what is the bacchanal behind this? Because a former Commissioner of Police coming out and telling Trinidad and Tobago it is not a prohibited weapon. No ministers have authorization to sign off on anything. As he is questioning Martin now, why are you trying to get the Prime Minister involved in this? Is it somebody know the law or is it somebody do not know the law? But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to wait and see more developing on this case. We are going for a short commercial break. We'll be right back after.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Realtalk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Realtalk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Realtalk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Realtalk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real public concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So remember, Trinidad and Tobago, Real Talk Financing is giving you 5% on fixed deposit. Remember that we are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is giving you a 5% interest on our fixed deposit. Remember that, viewers. Only Real Talk Financing. As I always say, if you go to a financial institution and they are giving you more than 5%, we're going to match them and beat them. Only we at Real Talk Financing will give any financial institution in this country a run. We will do that. We will meet and match and pass. But so far, viewers, Real Talk Financing has been the leaders in fixed deposit in Trinidad and Tobago. You can't get it better. You cannot get it better. Now, I love to elaborate. When you have $100,000, right? Just saying. Now you could start with from 10,000, go up. 5 years you sign it for, you get any interest up front. You don't have to wait 10 years and 20 years or 5 years to get your interest on your hard-earned capital. No, we're giving it up front. We want you to enjoy it. We want you to go for a vacation. We want you to enjoy the money that you work for. We want that for you. Why? Because I myself, if I open a fixed deposit, I'll be like, wait, I'll wait 5 and 10 years for this thing. Next thing I die before that, I wouldn't even inherit my money. So that gave me a little twist. You know what? In 2025, we're going to do something better for the people. Better for the people. Interest up front. No banks ain't giving you that. No financial institution ain't giving you that. They must study you. You just put your money there and you leave it there. Let them make money from it. But what we are doing, we are thinking about the people. We are thinking about the long term you're waiting. So hence the reason why I mastered that. I say, you know what? We're cutting it out. Interest up front on 4%. 2025 citizens wanted something more. We gave them something more. So on $100,000 now, you stand up a fixed deposit with Real Talk Financing, you're getting 5%. You're getting your interest up front. So on $100,000, you're getting $25,000. Imagine, other institution what you getting? 2%? 3%? 15,000, 10,000 you're getting. And Real Talk Financing, you're getting $25,000. Nobody ain't beating us, nobody ain't passing us. Like I say, I always wanted to have one of the biggest fixed deposit center in Trinidad and Tobago. God heard my prayer. Just like God heard Benjamin's prayer. I want to be the commissioner of police. God heard his prayer. So God heard mine. Now Real Talk Financing is one of the biggest fixed deposit center in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember that. Also, viewers, Real Talk Equipment. Real Talk Equipment has 2 equipment for sale. We have a truck and an excavator. So viewers, we have a truck for sale. The truck is in prestige condition. Those of you who think about going into the trucking business, you want to go into the wrecking business, you want to go into the transporting business, this is the perfect truck for you viewers. Prestige condition is a 7-ton. You're doing wrecking work and you're doing transport work with this also. Why am I saying transport? Because there's a crane attached to this truck. A crane attached. So you could lift any heavy thing, equipment, put it on the truck and transport it. Like I said, it's 2 jobs in 1. Transporting of heavy equipment or wrecking service. For a company, for an individual, you can't go wrong. Also, viewers, we have a excavator for sale, viewers. Remember, prestige condition, never used in Trinidad and Tobago. It's a 306E Caterpillar, brand name Caterpillar, fully air conditioned, top of the line, working piece of equipment. Contact me, viewers, at 339-1670 for viewing, for pricing, and we will go forward from there. Also, Real Talk has launched a new department where we are dealing with crash and damaged vehicle. It's a new department. As long as you have a crash or a damaged vehicle, your insurance pay you off, you're not owing the bank, you want to sell it, contact us 339-1670 or 238-6716 viewers, and we'll do business from there. So as we start back our show tonight, Prime Minister is waiting. This is what he said. I am waiting. Saieed Young have stated that he has plans for the police service, which he will share when he comes into office. In the meantime, Young stated that he is in no way fazed by the development in the country, not within the PNM. He's advising everyone to stand back and watch his style. Watch his
Absolutely not. As you all would have heard in my address to these 12 young students this morning, there is so much positive about Trinidad and Tobago. Every country is going to have issues, and we are no different. And part of the responsibility of leadership is whatever issues you have to face, you do so with a level head, and you do so in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm in absolutely no way phased whatsoever. Fortunately, I've been now in government going on 10 years. I'm very aware of the difficulties as well as the challenges, but also the benefits for the citizens of when we do things properly and right. So stand by. We'll soon see my style.
Stand by, you're going to soon see my style. Trinidad and Tobago. Ask if he has any plans for the police service. Young said he does, but at the appropriate time, he will address the public. Stuart Young.
Specific plans for the police service and the direction you want to see it goes?
I do, and at the appropriate time, I will address the country with those plans.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister, Dr. Saieed Ali, is stepping away from politics. He is stepping away from offering himself to serve Trinidad and Tobago. He is closing the door. And he has appointed his successor, Mr. Stuart Young. Now I know on general election time, there's an individual that goes up for election and the people will choose. General election is about choosing which party and who runs that party. That will be elected in office. But in this case, the Prime Minister chose Stuart Young. Did the people of Trinidad and Tobago choose Stuart Young? I want to ask all of that. Let me open all your eyes a little bit. Did the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago choose Stuart Young? No, you all didn't. You all didn't choose Stuart Young. Dr. Saieed Ali chose Stuart Young and put him there for you, the people of this country. For you. Are you okay with that? Come 2025, we will see. The Minister of Public Utility, Marvin Gonzalez, have stated that the Regulated Industries Commission, RIC, recommendation to increase the electricity rate is still before the Finance and General Purpose Committee in Cabinet. He stated that he does not expect the committee will complete the report before the end of 2025. Listen to this.
I can't say. The last I reported on that is that the matter is before the Finance and General Purposes Committee, which is a subcommittee of the Cabinet. And a week or 2 weeks ago, I would have reported in the national media that given the priorities of the FNGP at this point in time, I don't anticipate that in 2025, the Finance and General Purposes Committee will complete its interrogation of the submission made by the RIC. So it is a matter that is under active consideration, but for 2025, I don't know for 2026 what will happen. But the Finance and General Purposes Committee continues to interrogate the submissions made by the RIC, and the possibility of any rate increase in 2025 is not one that can possibly happen given the amount of work that has to be done still.
Ask for an update on WASA rate review. Gonzalez stated that a WASA rate review was tied in with WASA's transformation plan, which is still not completed. He stated that the last time WASA rate was increased was in 1992, and that was no business plan done by WASA to justify a hike in price. The first, a business plan was done in 2023 and sent to RIC, which is still in the process of interrogating and reviewing the document. Therefore, Gonzalez stated that he does not see a WASA rate review happening in 2025 or 2026. Gonzalez.
I don't see it happening in 2025. I still don't see it happening in 2026, given the amount of work and groundwork that still has to be done. So let me say it, that there is no way, given the fact that we are treading on new territory with respect to a rate review for the water sector and what WASA has to do and what the RIC has to do, it just cannot happen in 2025 and in 2026. So perhaps in 2026, at the end of 2026, the RIC will now be in a position to start interfacing with the public on its draft determination for a rate review for the water sector towards the end of 2026, because by that time, they would have done a lot of work understanding the submissions made.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, Benjamin. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, TTPS, have stated that their hard work is clearly paying off, with more than 1,500 arrests and a decrease in crime since the state of emergency SOE began in December 30th. DCP Junior Benjamin stated that police continue to see increase in the number of operation, arrests, and guns and drug seizure. Listen to this.
Allow me at this time, please, to update you with more hopeful news that really speaks to the fact that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service continue to see an improvement in terms of the number of operations that has been conducted thus far. We have had thus far 1,953 operations. In terms of priority offenders that has been targeted, we had at least 1,731 persons. We have done and conducted at least 12,387 searches, and in terms of persons that were arrested, 1,522 persons were arrested. Ladies and gentlemen, we had at least 73 firearms thus far that has been recovered, and 1,532 assorted ammunition was also recovered. We had 164 kilograms of marijuana thus far and 1 kilogram of cocaine.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Benjamin added that there has been a 37% reduction in property crime, with 246 property crime this year compared to 386 last year. Listen to this.
We have seen, in terms of our violent crimes, at least a 59% reduction in our violent crimes. In terms of robberies, we had 101 against 260. We have seen a 37% decrease in terms of our property crime, and a total amount of this year 246 property crimes against 386. When we continue to look at these statistics, it tells us that the hard work of the officers continue to pay off. Again, we are not satisfied in terms of where we are, we believe that there is certainly too much.
So Trinidad and Tobago, let's just hope Benjamin is not like Erla. I want to ask this question. Does Benjamin have the authorization to sign off on firearms? Because a lot of people, a lot of businessmen have applications. Suzanne? Suzanne? You called? We spoke. Could you contact me tomorrow? Suzanne? Mary Show. Please contact me tomorrow. Let's have a discussion. The final one, because we ain't going nowhere with this. So if you want your picture up on next night and you don't want me to take the step I was taking, please contact me tomorrow. Thank you so much. So viewers, we have come to the end of our program tonight. I do want to thank you for viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Remember, we are live on Facebook. We go live on YouTube. I also want to encourage you, grab the 5% offer while you can, Trinidad and Tobago. Those of you who have crashed vehicles, contact me, 339-1670. Also, you're looking for the excavator to buy, you want to buy the wrecker, contact me also, 339-1670. That is my number, viewers. I'm always here to deal with the people. If you have a spiritual problem, you can also contact me. For those of you in Trinidad and Tobago who know Saieed for the last 8 years, would know I do spiritual work. God have blessed me in that field. So viewers, it's time now. I must say good night until we meet again.